Can two walk together except they be agreed? The people you decide to walk with in life, in whatever way, business or personal, family, they're going to influence you. You're going to influence them. And we're right in the middle of this thing right now in the world, in society, where things are being transformed. And you can use that word in a lot of different ways, so that you think that bad things are good and good things are bad. Isaiah talks about bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. And that's definitely what's going on right now. And sometimes it's hard to believe that people can be so deceived and tricked by what people who are following the devil, sometimes openly following the devil, what they're telling us to believe and do and how to act. And most people in the world are going right behind these people who hate God. They've changed the very definition of love. And your definition is going to change when you start following them. And part of it can be out of a fear of being seen as mean, hateful, as being an outsider. You'll notice that the very people in our society now who claim to be outsiders are really the ones who are running the world. And they've got you thinking that they're victims, but they've got control over everything that you consume. And so now you're thinking like them, and you can't see that no matter what spirituality you claim or what level you're on and all of that, you're following people who hate God. And it's changed you. It's changed the very way that you believe. It's changed who you believe that God even is anymore. Because you've got their definition of God now. You've got their definition of love and hate now. Not the Bible, not God's, not Jesus Christ. And it's leading you to a bad place. And we talk about this rainbow image sometimes. And the first rainbow, according to the Bible, was after the flood, with Noah and 7 other people, 8 people. That was the first rainbow as recorded by the Bible. Now that image has been co-opted by people who hate the Bible, they hate God. And we won't go too far down that path. We can come back to it later, maybe, if God willing, he's going to give me time to do that. But this whole idea of using a rainbow symbol or even a cross symbol or that fish symbol you see on people's cars sometimes. Why do we need these symbols? We ought to let the world have them. We ought to let people who hate the Bible, who know what the rainbow really stands for, but they've used it for something else. We know that's representing the real God. It's just something for us to look upon and hold on to. But again, we ought to let the lost people have that instead of trying to take it back from them, where it was never really ours anyway. Jesus don't care about rainbows and fish. He really doesn't even care about the cross symbol itself. Now, the cross that he died on, it's gone and disintegrated. You're not going to find it. And the cross, the figurative cross that we as Christians are to take up, we're to deny ourselves, take up our cross, and follow him. That is not a real literal cross. It's not something you can put on a necklace. It's not something you can put on a church wall or on some business logo. Jesus doesn't care about any cross except the one that we're taking up for him and for his sake. And that's another whole issue to get into that we're not going to touch right now. But I try not to write these things down. I'm just talking out of my heart here, or my head, or both. And I'm trying to use the Holy Bible as my guide in the way that I speak and believe and teach and preach. And what we're talking about here, again, is who are you walking with? The people that you walk with, that you accept, that you're giving a consolation to, that you're patting on the back and you're encouraging, well, they're part of you now. They're influencing you. Just to bring it down to a shoe level where everybody can see it, if you're hanging out with people who hate God and you're claiming that it's out of love, they don't believe the same thing they don't believe the same thing that I believe, but that doesn't matter because it's all about love. And we just all should just love our neighbors, and you're supposed to love God first. The commandments can be shrunk down to 2 according to Jesus. Love God and then love your neighbor as yourself. Well, you notice love God comes first there. You can't love your neighbor most effectively, unless you love God first. And if you love God, you don't like the devil. You don't like evil stuff. You don't like darkness. You don't like wickedness. And you're not going to walk with people who like those things. So even that neighbor that you're loving as yourself, you've got to be able to tell him the truth. And even if you can't tell him the truth in a way that he's going to be able to hear, you've got to act it out. You've got to, and at the end of it, you got to get away from that person. You're not going to be walking with him because you don't agree on who God is. You don't agree on what love is. And you're not going to swallow everything that comes across your eyes in all the media. That's a danger of being on, especially social media, because a lot of people think that social media is just about, well, I just want to be able to express myself. That's what it's for, so we can just all just have a voice and a platform, and that's part of it, but it's to draw you in, and the other things that you're going to get when you're not posting, the things that you're looking at, consuming, and listening to, and the videos you're watching on Facebook or whatever, they're changing you. It's a way to program the way you're thinking. Now, this is just undeniable. I know a lot of people know about this, but some of the people who know about this, they're aware of what's going on. They're aware of the agendas that are being thrown in their face every day. They're okay with it because they just want the entertainment. They want the phone in their hand. They want the distraction. They want to flick their thumb up every 2 minutes when they've got a spare moment in the grocery line or what have you. But they don't understand that it's not just an idle distraction. They are being programmed. They're being conditioned to think a certain way. They're being told a lot of perverse things. They're being told that things that God hates are okay and encouraging and healthy on all kinds of levels. And it's complete opposite. Isaiah 5 right there. And Ephesians 5. It's a very familiar verse to anybody that spent time in church or around the Bible. Have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them. You're not only not supposed to walk with people that you're not in agreement with, you're supposed to point them out. I don't mean blasting them on social media or something like that, although sometimes that might be called for. No, you are supposed to warn people, though. There's no need to get sensational about it. But there is a place for pointing out false teachers. There is a place for pointing out people and things and behaviors that are evil. And if nothing else, you've got to get away from that. It is a shame even to speak of those things which are done of them in secret. Who do you think that the Bible is talking about here? I mean, at least partly. It's talking about people who have mocked the very roles that men and women have in the world, in life. It's twisted it all up. And it's got you thinking, because you're scrolling all day long, you're watching Netflix all day long, it's got you thinking that that's okay. It's got you thinking that not only are you supposed to be okay with it, but you're supposed to encourage it, enjoy it, maybe even take part in it. And if not take part in it, at least defend these things. Well, we're here to throw an umbrella over ourselves and keep away from these things. Keep these things away from us. Just that alone angers people. And you get the quote-unquote hate word, quote-unquote judgmental words, when all you're doing is trying to avoid something that you believe is not good. The fear of the Lord is to hate evil, pride and arrogancy, and the evil way, and a froward mouth do I hate. It's Proverbs 8. The fear of the Lord is to hate evil. Are the things that the world promotes, are the evil? Are men and women who look like the other thing? Are men who look like women and women who look like men on purpose? Just for fun, just for sport. Is that evil? Yes, it's evil. According to the Bible. Are they prideful? Yes, well, that's in their name. That's in a lot of their logos or a lot of the world, the things that they're doing. Pride is always a word in there. Even American pride. All the pride is not good. All of that pride is evil. All of this lifestyle pride is evil. All of the black pride, white pride, whatever, skin color pride. It's wicked. Why do you have a respect for persons? Why do we have to justify things and say that they're good when they're not? Hate, evil, pride, and arrogancy. Are these people arrogant? The ones who are spitting in God's face, or they think they are? You really can't do anything to him. They don't understand how much mercy and grace he's given them. Yeah, it's arrogant. The fear of the Lord is to hate evil and the evil way. You have to throw that in. The evil way. And a froward mouth. What is froward? Froward. You just got an evil or perverse mouth. Your speech is rotten and angry and filthy and profane. But God said he hates that. And if he hates it, why would you want to walk with people who have perverse lips, perverse mouths, and tongues and speech? No matter how much truth they're giving you. Do they have a forward mouth? You better watch out for them. What are they really teaching you? It may even be somebody who is against what the world is doing, but all he can do is rail and rant against it. That kind of person never sees his own sin, only other people's. He has no mercy, no grace for anyone except people who agree with him. You want to walk with people like that? That kind of person is not much better than those who pervert what God said a man and a woman should be. They're against the LGBT, and rightfully so, but the unloving way, the hateful way, even, that they talk about people, they're not really better. No, there's a balance there. I can be against something that's evil. I can be against wickedness. I can be against perversion and not speak or be like what I hate, what I'm against. You say you hate that? Yes, I do hate it because God hates it. Does that mean I hate people? Does that mean I hate gay people? Somebody asked me that because they heard some of the things that I say on these messages or that I've written over years and years. That's too simplistic a question. A better question is, do I hate evil? And the answer is yes, because God hates evil. I want to be like him. But God is love as well. He can be all love and hate something at the same time. Now, we can't really pull that off, but that's my goal to try. And my goal is not to walk with people who hate God, because we're definitely not in agreement now. If you hate him, God is walking uprightly. He that walketh uprightly walketh surely, but he that perverteth his ways shall be known. But right now in 2020, the quote-unquote clear vision year, as I heard a lot of ministries mark this year before it began, well, now we can see a lot of things clearly. I see a lot of things clearly about people that I never thought I'd see. Ways of acting and believing are crystal clear. They're known. A lot of the people that are in the public eye that I might have liked once upon a time, well, I can't like them anymore. I can't follow them anymore. Their ways are known now, but some people still can't see it. And they're going to keep walking with the perverts. They're going to keep walking with people who do nothing but mock the Lord Jesus Christ. That's all they know how to do. No matter what else they're talking about, they've got to come back. They've got to come back to it. And my prayer is that anybody listening to this, hatred does stir up strife, but love covereth all sins. Real love is the truth. And real love does hurt sometimes. And real love is better than the world's love.